26%. On the nation report part that the percentage of US 12 countries were provision in America we pride ourselves as being an exceptional country, but does 26% sound exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as a country we need to do way better than this. I'm with you. We all need math, but why are so many kids confused by it? It is because only 26% of people hardwired for math, while 74 are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you, this is not the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it as a humanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start to make sense. You're probably wondering, how was math ever human in the first place? So think about it. Math is a human language just like English, Spanish, or Chinese because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people needed the language of math to conduct trade, to build monuments, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math as a language is not actually new.
A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agrees, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we're taking the language of math with about the real world around us, and we abstract that's beyond this recognition. And that's why kids they get confused. Let me show you what it means. You see this third grade California math standard, and people make sense when 8 years old. Understand the fraction 1 over b as the quantity formed by one part when a wall is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction a over b as the quantity formed by a part of size 1 over b. And if you give this description to an 8 years, you probably get fraction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense, but to a kid, it's an absolute torture. I tell this example specifically because the fractions are the foundation to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in the elementary middle school because it had helped right way to ahead them in the high school. But there's a way to make subtraction simple and easy for kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math is the language and use that fair damage. For example, when I teach one third grader how to add the subtraction, I start with the apple plus lesson. For say yes, apple plus one apple, and people often say two with the party correct. Have them include the word as well as with the math of language.
But not just two, it's two apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 3 pencils. You are all know that pencils plus pencils is pencils. So everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencils is right. And the key is you include the word. I try to submit with my 5 years old niece in month. After she's 8 pencils and pencils, I asked her 4 billion plus 1 billion, and my aunt overheard in the distance. She called and said, "Are you crazy? She's been kindergarten. How she's supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? I'm done it." My nice Vanessa counting looks up and says, 5 billion? And I say, "That's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt stood ahead on stage because she didn't expect that from the 5-year-old, but all you have to do is take a language approach and make become into it is and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergartner definitely not supposed to know. Plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3, and she immediately answered 3 over 3, such as you are wondering how can she possibly know that when she does not know about the numerator and denominator yet. See, she was not thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way, and she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. So even a kindergartner and can subtraction, you'd better believe that every 3 grade can do it as well.
Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And then the 5-year correctly answered 9x squared. And she did it any exponent rules to figure that it's out. So when the people say that we are either wise or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we have all the ability to understand this. We need to take a language approach to math urgently, because too many kids are lost and they are ancient about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. I work with an angry, frustrated high school student, one who couldn't pass the algebra because she's only knew 4% of the multiplication text. I have told her that such a kind of word only knowing the 44% of the alphabet, holding me back. I couldn't pass her or public relations, and she had no confidence in that. As the result, this teenager had confidence in herself. I have told her, you have to start with the multiplication, because once you know all of you have with your part, everything gets easier and they will be having a fast pace. Systematically learn the timetable in 4 weeks. I have you ride in Disneyland. And she sighed, okay, what do you think? But said yes, even a multiplication has the language in better than that.
You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times. Just like that. So when kids read this way, they quickly realize that the repetition is slow and inconvenient. So they glad they memorize that 3 7 times, although with the 21. The future teenager walks out streets to dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication with the gain chance, because for the first time we can focus on the problem solving instead of counting on the future. Agnes at the corner, with this figure out the 2 years quarterly at $445 at month would cost you $2,608, and she's looking at me disdainfully and said, "Is a police soap that expensive?" At that moment, not having wonder causing problem for her, but she's looking giving a math solved problem as the reason to adult. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to be tired you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you pass the number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not built your mind, but our kids needed to imagine and develop the future. Meeting the challenge can be as simple as apple plus apple. Instead, we teach math the human logic, and we will get there rather than later. Thank you.